Hey guys, Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So I am doing another hashtag. This one is also by Mags Black. And it is my top 5 deep divers. So let's just get started. Okay, so definitely Spirit Keepers Tarot. My sister and I are doing a study of this particular deck. And sorry, I had to get it out of the box. Although you can easily read this as just regular tarot, right? However, and or use it intuitively, because the artwork is just absolutely stunning. But this is a perfect deck for deep diving. She includes, by she I mean Bennett Bellwin, the creator. She includes, and sorry, this is the Revelations edition. She includes so many other things, like for instance, the astrological, or planetary, elemental. I can't remember what this is called. It's something numerical. And then the I Ching also on all of these cards. She has renamed all of the kings to archangels. All the queens are shields. All the shinings are the knights. And the, what are the pages? I can't remember. What are the pages? I even love that she's got the different, she's got the Initiate, the Seeker, and the Keeper, 3 different like Fool cards, depending on like what, like what your evolution of the Fool is. But damn it, I can't remember. Oh, Heralds. Those are the pages, the Heralds. I absolutely love this deck as a deep dive, because the book, most of you I'm sure that have heard of this particular deck has also seen the book and or books that come with them. The Book of Maps is massive, but she has so much history and different cultures and associations in each one of these different cards that she's made. I mean, she's got Norse, she's got Sumerian, she's got Buddhist and or like Chinese, the Tao. She's got Greek. She's got just tons. Okay, I can't even name them all. She's got tons in this. And the level of detail that she has done, even in behind the scenes, a lot of it, like she even covered up, but she talks about even like the backdrops of why she used certain things. And I mean, like the nebulas, and oh my gosh, this is just a phenomenal deck, and one I suggest to anybody that wants to really deep dive into this beautiful, it's just a tapestry of cultures and esoterica, and yeah, it's just pure goodness. The Seeker, any Seeker, this is just like candy. Sorry. So yeah, definitely love this deck. Definitely a deep diver, which for me is perfect because I like to deep dive. I don't like just surface stuff. I like deep symbolism and all that good stuff. I like to learn something. If I'm not learning, I'm dead. So another thing, or another one, I don't know a whole lot about the Kabbalah. So, and how it relates to tarot. So this is another one that there's another version of this, but I preferred this one. I could have got the other one, but I preferred it without the colors in it. I like it to focus more on the actual structure versus the coloring. I know this sounds kind of weird because I'm usually a color person, but I also like the coloring that's done here. There's like so many different points to each card and what it represents. So this is another deck that you can definitely do some deep diving with. It's got your well, it's got obviously your tree of life, but it's got your, what is this? The Hebrew letter. It's got like the alchemical or the elemental associations for each one. It's got your astrological. It's just, I love it. And I even like that card. This is by, designed by Eugene Vinitsky and from Geneva, Switzerland. Oh, and it's also by Frater North. But this is excellent. Even the backs are really cool. Metatron's cube. I love that it's also the Merkaba, or Merkaba, however you want to say it. Okay, so another one is the Thoth. This is definitely a deck for deep diving if you choose to do deep diving. You can, any of these decks, you can pretty much read if you wanted to, just intuitively, you know, just looking at the pictures and all that. But I like digging deeper into why did they use this color? What is the association for astrological? How does he look at these? Thoth, I mean, how does he look, or I mean, Aleister Crowley, the creator, how does he look at these particular numbers in comparison with the suits, and what does that mean to him, and the kings and queens and knights, which the knights are the kings in this. And so yeah, there's just so much layering that can be done with this particular deck. This is, although I have read the majority of the Book of Thoth, I read it on a Kindle, which I don't really like. So I did buy another version, paper. I'm going to be going through that. I like being able to open it back up and look at a reference because I don't easily remember something. I have to look at it a few times in order to retain it. So having an actual book where I can make highlights and reference it repeatedly, or remember where I had it, you know, have like little tabs so I can go back to that area. So this is the next deck that my sister and I, after we finish the Spirit Keepers, we're going to be doing an in-depth study on the Thoth. So I'm really excited about that. But I also read the Understanding the Thoth Tarot by Duquette. Or, yeah, I think it's Duquette. But, like I said, it's still better to like really just study it. And I was doing so many other things at the time that I was reading those books. So I think it needs its own really in-depth study. And I'm looking forward to that. That was a bag that I made for it. So another one is the Marielle. I love this deck as well. And this one is a combination of her mixing of, or the way that she sees the Rider-Waite, the Thoth, and the Marseille. This is Mary White's combination of those. And so much more of her own introspection and stories behind all of these different characters and cards and who they represent. Like the magician in here is Enoch, I believe, who then became Metatron. And there's, I mean, just so many different like stories behind obviously this is not normal, right? This is not like your basic tarot, which is why I love it. So this is another deep diver and another one that I love using and I like digging deep into, and I love using the book. It's not really something that I easily just pick up and go, oh yeah, this one's, I mean, I can, but it's not one I go to when I just want a quick reading. And another one, the fifth one, the Sacred India Tarot. This one is so friggin' cool. It is so beautiful. The book is really good, what I have read of it so far. The different stories that revolve around like the Buddha's life and stuff from like the Mahabharata and the Bhagavad Gita, and inspired by, yeah, Indian mythology and epics. And to me, that is just excellent. And I got this for a really good price because, which I still need to fix it because somebody had returned this, and they're all there. But as you can see, not all the cards, especially like in the corners, they were not cut properly. But I can easily do that. I mean, for the most part, they're pretty level. There's a little bit off. But I'm not butthurt about it. It doesn't bother me that much. I love the deck. But it is not because I don't know all these stories. I have to dig in deeper. And you like with all of them, you don't have to. You could use this as like a surface tarot if you wanted to, because you can easily see what each one is, plus it says what it is. But I like to deep dive into this one as well and learn the stories and learn about the different culture and the different gods that are represented in here, like Ganesha and Shiva. And look at that. That is so friggin' cool. The coloring is so beautiful. The devil. Like, who is that devil? I want to know who that devil is. That is so cool. Because that's not like your basic, like, devil, right? So, yes, this is another one for deep diving if you choose to deep dive it. You don't have to, but I think you're not doing the tarot justice if you don't deep dive into this one and in the stories. Unless, of course, you already know these stories, which I do not. I have one honorary mention that could fall into both of the my top 5 sharpshooters and my top 5 deep dives. And that is the Bonestone and Earth Flush Tarot by Evelyn Cameron and Anaturian. So I know this deck really well. I've used it so much that, I mean, as you can see, it's definitely used and loved and worn. And I know that it takes probably a lot of the value away from it because it's worth a significant amount of money, but I don't care. I love the fact that it's used and it's worn and that you can see that it is. But also, that is why I can look at this and I can understand this deck easily by looking at the pictures. If I wanted to, I can definitely pull this out in a pinch and read, and, you know, no problem. I've got it. It makes sense to me. But this deck, not unlike Anaturian's other deck, Tarot of the Abyss also, I almost put that in this one as well, because you can definitely understand it. But then when you add the book into this, there's so many different stories and just a beautiful mixture of, see, like, for instance, she puts the Sephira, the number associations, the astrology associations, all of that. And other like associations with like the major arcana. And like when you get to the major arcana, she's also got, let's see, the elements, which is really nice because obviously you know what they are when they're the minor arcana. But with the major arcana, that's, you know, that's a learning process again. So I love it. There's so much in this book that makes it something that you can easily deep dive into. So I wanted to put that as an honorary mention, as a deck that you can easily read with in a pinch if you needed to. But it's, oh my God, look at that. It's so good deep diving into these stories too. Yeah. So that is my 5+1. As I said, this tag was my 5 deep divers, my top 5 deep divers, something like that. It'll be on the video. And I will also be putting a link to Mags Black's channel to her video. So thank you for joining me, and I am sending you love always.